that he's here for the story and the experience. Red flag. Hi, people. Welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale. Today we're doing Love Island. What? Today we're doing Love is Blind Mexico. We're sure to do all the right things. Follow on Patreon. We have fun there. Let's just get into this. So, Love is Blind is back with Mexico. They released 4 episodes on the first, which was when I filmed this. Honestly, I watched all 4 of them and I filmed this. The format for this season will be reviews right up till the end, and then we'll do a reaction for the reunion because the reunion always has tea. The last I did do a reaction for Love Island. What is it? I was just watching something about Whitney and Lachlan, so now Love Island is in my head. I hope they didn't break up, but it is what it is, child. The I did do a reunion reaction for Love is Blind Brazil season 4, 6, 4. I did a reaction, so I'll be posting that sometime with some of my thoughts and all that stuff. But that I think maybe this is my least favorite Love is Blind Brazil season ever. That's hard to say because Brazil is the best for me. Now, Mexico is out, and I think Mexico is going to have some real good juicy tea. And the UK is starting on the 7th, so maybe that's going to bring its own mess as well, its own chaos. Well, yeah, I was not that impressed with Love is Blind Brazil season 4. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about season 4 of Love is Blind Brazil. But yeah, Mexico started, and we're quickly introduced to the cast and the couples. I really did like it. The hosts are not my favorite hosts on Love is Blind. Just gonna leave that there. You can decide why you think they're not my favorite. I'm not saying nothing. But we get to meet the cast, and I'm going to be talking about the guys and the girls that ended up in a couple with some extra people who had, triangles here and there. Let's start out with Gerardo. Gerardo, I had 2 lists. I had the question mark list and I had the heart list. So the people on the heart list are the people that I liked that stood out to me for different reasons. And then the people on the question mark list are the people that were doing things that were very iffy to me for different reasons. Gerardo went straight people to the question mark list because, first of all, when he was interacting with Fernanda and Mafa, they both said different things that didn't really align with his vision for the kind of person that he wanted to end up with, but he just glossed over it. And I don't know how people watch Love is Blind, but I'm watching to predict the people who will end up staying together in the long run. And I'm listening to your words. Your actions are also coming into play. But for Love is Blind, where they don't get to see each other and there are no real actions until they live together, their words carry weight. And when Mafa said that she likes to party and stuff like that, he didn't like it. But when she said, oh, but she also likes to stay at home and watch movies and everything, he kind of just glossed over the party side and was willing to keep on dating her, regardless of not being comfortable with the party girl. Mafa is cute. Love the height. She's a gorgeous woman. I think she's crazy though. Don't get me wrong, I like her, but I think she's unhinged. Slightly. In like a good way, but maybe not. Is the best way that I can describe it. And then when Fernanda said that, oh, she really is into exercise, she kept hammering. Fernanda kept hammering that she loves exercise, she wants to exercise, that's what she likes to do. When they gave her an option between the beach and the forest, hiking, she chose hiking. Gerardo is not an exercise guy. He literally says that. He says, I'm not really into exercising, but he just glossed over it again. And for me, these are fundamental things that I think will lead to problems for them in the future because later on, when she's like, oh, let's go ice skating, let's go hiking, let's go this, let's do that, he'll be like, I'm not really interested. It's not what I want to do. And that is what will lead to their problems. I'm not saying that this is what will happen. I'm just saying that the way he communicated and the way he glossed over things that he was not actually really looking for in a wife will potentially lead to problems down the line. That was why Gerardo, was on my naughty list, the question mark list. Also, the fact that he tells both women that he loves them, and I'm like, Excuse me. I get that you can fall in love with multiple people. It's a dating show where you are interacting with multiple people. It's compressed. Emotions are heightened. Everything is rapid and everything is like is intensified. Valid. But to tell both women that you love them one right before you dump her, on the same day, I think he should have held out on the I love yous until he'd chosen the person that he wanted. I think he could have used the words, I really do, I've really come to care deeply for you, especially for the person that he chose to dump. You can't tell a girl I love you and then dump her. And all the guys, sorry, I'm on a roll now. All the guys kept saying, "Oh, but I want to leave the line of communication open because I want to have someone like you in my life." The which I will try my best not to curse, guys. I will try. What the actual F? What does that mean exactly? Oh, you're leaving me here in case it doesn't work out with the girl that you eventually chose and things don't work out down the aisle, or you guys get married and you end up getting divorced, but I'm still in the waiting. And one of the girls was willing, happy to do that too. Anywho, next guy we're talking about is Saul. Saul reminds me, I think Saul, if Saul said that he was Cameron's elder brother, Cameron from Love is Blind season one, who married, I always forget her name, Lauren Speed, yes. If they said that they were related, I would see it only from like the facials, though. And I think maybe it's the beard. Something about the beard gives like they look alike, and he could pass for Cameron's older brother. Saul, Saul did not make it on any of my lists. Not because there were any things that I didn't clock with him. Saul, I didn't like specifically because of how he treated Karen. Karen talked about her sexuality of, being open, having threesome swinging. Now, you may not agree with her lifestyle, but you should not judge her for it. She should not be put in that position where she's, being vulnerable with the person that she potentially wants to spend the rest of her life with. And then you trash her for it. No, that was fair. Do I agree with swinging? No. Am I willing to have a threesome in my marriage? Fuck no. I don't share well. I'm not a sharer, people. But I will not judge you for your lifestyle as long as all parties are involved, know what is going on. You do you. You're fucking adults. So I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that. And for that, he will go on the question marks list. I didn't put him on there, but he is there for sure. And also, when it comes to Saul himself, there's a question mark for me in general. I don't trust him. Not that he said anything to trigger distrust or maybe it's the couple that he's in that is making me really doubt his intentions towards this entire thing. I don't trust him. I really don't. He has a kid, and that comes into play later. Moving on to the next guy, let's talk about Fernando. Fernando, I liked. In fact, Fernando was the poster boy for this whole thing. Let's just break it down. Fernando had instant connections with two people, Rocio and what was her name? Irez. Irez, I think, was swept up with the emotion and the hype of finding this good guy that she actually liked and connected with. And after one good date, she goes out of the pod and says, "I'm getting married." She never said he proposed. And I took it for what she was saying. She was excited that she had probably found the person that she was going to spend the rest of her life with. She had fallen in love with this guy, and she was just expressing that. Knowing that Rocio also liked Fernando, and they always say they are friends because they're in the women's lounge or men's lounge. They always call themselves friends. I don't know why they do this. They're not friends. They're dating people, the same person. Just moving on. For Iris, pulls Rocio down, did the right thing. I think Iris did the right thing, honestly, from beginning, well, to this point. She pulled Rocio aside, said, I know that you're connecting with this person. I know he's your number one, but I also have a deep connection with him. And he's also my number one. Rocio acts all happy, excited. Oh, I love that for you. He's a great guy. This, that. I didn't trust Rocio from the beginning, from the first moment I saw her. Her words and actions were not really matching up, but it was inconsequential because we don't really see her in the end, right? So Rocio then goes on a date with Fernando and says, "Oh, Iris came back to the women's lounge and said that you proposed to her and we're getting married." Now, did Iris say she was getting married? Yes. Did Iris say that Fernando proposed to her? No. So Rocio went on my naughty list, on my question mark list, because she definitely bended the truth. And I feel like that whole situation kind of soured the experience for Fernando, because he started getting pissed that Iris was lying in the lounge, the female lounge. When he had his date with Iris, he says, "What did you say? Because this is what I was told that you said." She said, "My word is my bond. You can either trust me or you can choose to trust whatever you believe. But I never said you proposed to me directly. I said I was getting married in a way that I'd found the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with." She wasn't lying. But I think that whole situation really did sour things for him, because I thought that he and Iris were locked in. I thought that that was a done deal until Rocio came and she did that whole thing, you know. Fernando is not on any of my lists, if I'm being honest. I didn't put him on the question mark list. I didn't put him on the hearts list because I was still trying to figure him out. I like him to a certain point when he was talking to Rocio, because Rocio said that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom and that's all she wants, and there's nothing wrong with that. He didn't like it because he said he wants a woman to have to be able to take care of the home, take care of the kids, and have her own thing going on. I was like, dude, not everybody wants that, and you need to be more expressive about that. He didn't really express that to Rocio. He just left her on cloud nine, which is why she went and tried to sabotage the whole thing, you know. That all played out. But Fernando, he's okay for now. I think he's one of the people that will go all the way. I seriously believe that he took his time with the experiment. Yes, I respect the way he handled the experiment. He took his time. He dated as many people as he could, and then he made an informed decision based on what they had given him and what he had. Like, he did it right. I will give Fernando that. Moving on, let's talk about Chema. Chema was not my favorite in the dating pods. He was not my favorite. Chema started to win me over once he met the person he'd chosen to couple up with. He was another person in a triangle situation. He was in between Alejandra and Sylvia. Alejandra is a problem. Alejandra gives me "I will key your car" vibes. Yeah, so Chema, I didn't like Chema's attitude in the pods. I couldn't read him, and he was very superficial about everything, which also was surprising when you think about the person that he decided to couple up with in the end. Chema was definitely on my question mark list. First of all, his delivery is piss poor. I didn't really like the way he was talking to Sylvia at some points. And plus, I didn't feel like when they were in the pods, Chema was taking it seriously. I didn't think he was really into it. Like, he loved the idea that two women were vying for his attention, but I wasn't feeling like he was into it. Chema also has a kid, which I think Alejandra was using to try and manipulate the situation, because she's unhinged. And there's nothing about her that gives you crazy. But when you look beyond the surface, I don't. She's the one who told him that no matter the decision he makes, she will always be there because she thinks that it is meant to be. But you know what? I say this now and then I remember that guy in season two of or season two of Love Is Blind Brazil that saw the girl, decided he chose between his triangles, saw her, and because she was a plus size girl, he broke up with her on the spot. And apparently now he's living with Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes was the third of the triangle that he was in. So you never know. Alejandra might stand a chance. You never know. Anyways, the only reason Chama was on the question marks list was because, like I said, his delivery was piss poor when he was interacting with the women, and he didn't look like he was in it to me. Things switch once he sees the person that he chose. So stay tuned for that. Next on the list is Renee. So Renee, we see in the first episode, and then we don't really hear from him till things develop with Iris, till like the third episode. Renee is a doctor, and he was on my hat list actually, because he was the only one who called out Iris on everything that happened. So you know the whole situation between Iris, Rocio, and Fernando. Because of that, Fernando moved on. He was like, I was seeing other people, and I just think that I clock better with somebody else. So he basically locked down those two situations, left them, and moved on to somebody different. Having done that, Iris returned back to the person that she was initially, one of the people that was on her list. So I think she had a top two. They were Fernando number one, Renee number two. The reason why, excuse me, she didn't give Renee the time of day in the beginning was because Renee says he likes to drink. She doesn't explain anything to him. She kind of just ghosts him. So it's been 2 days now. Fernando has basically dumped her and chosen somebody else. And Renee, she requested a date with Renee because they request based on their, connections. Renee quickly calls it out. It's like it's been 2 days that I'm not really down with that. Like, I'm the kind of person that wants to know what the tea is. Like, if we're doing this, we're doing this. He basically called her out, and I can appreciate that because it's given, it's given second choice, and nobody wants to be second choice, but he likes her, and so he accepts the apology and just keeps on going with it. Last guy that we're going to talk about is Willie. Willie is a problem. Willie is not here for the right reasons at all, and of course, from that statement you can guess that Willie is on the question mark list. He is on the question mark list because when they asked him why he did the experiment, he said he's here for the story and the experience. Red flag. And he literally told this to the girl that he ended up coupling with. So I'm not exactly sure if she had rose colored earplugs in her ear or she just heard what she wanted to hear. Because if somebody tells me I'm here for the story and the experience, I'm going to be running in the other direction because I'm here to find a love match. I'm here to find my husband. I'm here to find the love of my life. Do you see the way the answers are different? So in my head, Renee was a red flag from get go. And those were the final 6 guys that actually made decisions. Now let's go to the girls. So let's talk about Iris because she was the first person under my hearts list. I liked her instantly because I liked her attitude. I liked the way she approached things. I liked the fact that she was very confident in herself, knowing her self-worth. I liked all those things about her. But by the end of the season, Iris made it onto my question marks list because the way she handled things with Fernando when he was breaking up with her, the way she handled things with Karen when Karen told her about the connection with Fernando. So Iris kind of tells Karen that, okay, you guys you've chosen each other. I just want to be friends with Fernando. And then on the last date, she gives Fernando a teddy bear with her perfume on it. And she writes him a letter. And I thought that was a little shady, girl. You just wrote you about bending the truth and trying to sabotage, the relationship. And then you go around and do the same thing. So she went from my heart list to my question mark list. And then at the end, when he says, he plain out said, no, because she asked, is there any future between us? He said no, and I love that. He was very direct. We love a man that is direct and tells you how it is. At the end of that whole date, she goes on to ask him, do you think that Renee is a good fit for me? And I was like, girl, you're asking your current love interest, the person who just dumped you, if another man, no, I feel like in that whole situation, Fernando knew for sure that Iris was not for him. And I thought that was messed up. Honestly, I didn't think it. She said because he knows her and they're the same people, so he would know whether Renee was good or not. Also, she was questioning the drinking. Now, all these things she could have talked to Renee about. She told Fernando that she had a history of abuse where somebody who was drunk abused her, and so that was her fear about the drinking for Renee. Renee does drink a lot, but he's also a doctor, so I figured that he knows how to limit himself. He has a full-on profession where drinking can be a problem. So I figured that he knows how to limit himself at least. But she doesn't talk to Renee about it. She talks to Fernando about it. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. So at that point I put her on the question mark list. So after this date with Fernando where he broke up with her, that was like the 2 days later where she now, told them to invite Renee for another date. Throughout the whole thing, she was always looking for an excuse not to really be with Renee, which made me question why she was trying to force it. If the person that you're interested in has chosen a different situation, let it go. Just let it go. I almost feel like she was trying to force something with Renee, just to get to the honeymoon so that she can see what Fernando looks like, which is the case for a lot of things that happen on Love is Blind. Next on the list is Francesca. Now, Francesca, we don't really get to see. I feel like the people who end up coupling up, they should be featured from episode 1 so that we can get a full picture of them and actually grow to understand their journey. We don't get to see Francesca until episode 3, I think. And then they start building her and her choices story together. Francesca is, I don't know. I really don't get, I don't have a feel for her. I feel like she has a very fiery side. The most striking thing that came out for me for Francesca is that she has a kid and she's very particular about who she introduces to her kid and what she wants for her life because she has a daughter. That was the most thing that I got from Francesca. Francesca is on neither list, people, but she's one of the people who couples up, so we will be talking about her. Sylvia is next on my list, and Sylvia did not make it on any of my lists. I don't think I neither liked nor hated her. But I thought she was interesting. The one thing that I wanted to ask though is that what we're calling plus size models now? No shade, no tea. I'm not body shaming her or anything. She has a very fantastic body, which makes me question why she feels like she's a plus size model, or is that the new thing? Because if she's plus size, what would they now call people like me? I just like I didn't get it. She wasn't giving plus size to me. She was giving tall Amazonian. Yes, 100%. Was she a little curvy? Not really. I think the height is the main thing that will give her a difference between a regular model. Yeah, maybe she's not bone thin like usual models, right? She's not a size 0, but she wasn't plus size to me. Please let me know in the comment section. Again, not body shaming. She has a fantastic body. I just wouldn't classify her body as plus size. So why she chooses to term her own self as a plus size model is what I'm trying to understand here. So she was, that's the only thing that she was worried about, that Chema, who is the person that she was actually interested in, would not like her because she's plus sized. Fernanda was fantastic. Fernanda reminds me of the girl, the Greek singer in Huzavik. She's an actress. Oh, obviously, the movie Huzavik. It's on Netflix with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. Love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Hilarious movie. I like her. I think that she knows much of what she wants. She's more certain about what she wants in life than the person that she chose to couple up with. So she made it on my heart's list because again she knows her self-worth. Even when she was in a love triangle and the guy was trying to play in her face, not really, but yes, really, he was. She just said, you know what, I know what I bring to the table, I know who I am, and I know that if you don't choose me, somebody else will. Simple. And I feel like that's what won her the guy, if I'm being honest, because the other one was very much, love bombing, to love bomb. And she was like, yeah, I like you, but if you don't want to choose me, that's all good, man. Somebody else will. And that's why I put her on my hearts list. We love a woman who knows herself and who has self worth. Simple. Lety. Lety. Letty always has this deer in headlights look about her, and I don't know what's going on with Letty. I really don't. And I really feel for her situation because you might look at it and say, oh, that she's teasing her partner. She's one of the, she doesn't want it, she didn't want to have sex throughout the honeymoon. And she was not very, like, she was physical, but not physical. So it was kind of like a hot and cold situation. But here's the thing, she had talked about it in the pods. So I can't really hold it against Letty. She did. She brought it up in the pod. She was like, how would you feel if we don't have sex on the honeymoon or if we don't do anything like that? And it wasn't out of the blue. Like, she didn't spring it on him when they got to the honeymoon. Where I didn't really understand, because I was like, it's either she was abused in the past or it's an excuse. The abuse one, obviously legit. She wants to be sure before anything happens, and so she has her guards up. But the excuse is where she started using the partner's daughter. She's like, oh, what do you think will happen when your daughter sees you on the TV? And it's like, it's not even your kid. Why are you using them as an excuse? You either like this man or you don't, right? And there's somebody else who used this as an excuse, and she was just crazy in Love is Blind Brazil season 4. What was her name? Ah, I can't remember. The one that looked like Monica. But she kept using her daughter, her daughter, her daughter. It's like, okay, you decide what you want to do. Be honest with yourself and just say you don't like this man and stop using your kids as an excuse. But Letty always has this day in headlight situation and she always looks panicked and I don't know what that is about. I'm worried for Letty is what I'm trying to get across. Which brings us to the couples. So in the end, we ended up having six couples. We had Gerardo and Fernanda, Saul and Lety, Karen and Fernando, Chema and Sylvia, Willie and Francesca, and Iris and Renee. So we'll go through the couple meeting themselves one by one. So Gerardo and Fernanda, I thought it was a little odd, if I'm being honest. The kisses were barely there, and I don't know, it wasn't really giving what it was supposed to be giving. They were the first to couple up based on production, anyways. So I really wasn't invested in their couple reveal. Second were Saul and Lety. Now I wrote down this is how you do it because very expressive. We later find out that Lety was overwhelmed by the physical contact of it all because the kiss was very passionate. She was into it, but then she complains at the end, and she had that look again, and I was like, my lord, what is going on with this girl? She needs to either talk to a therapist or talk to the person that she's coupled up with because there's definitely something going on there that we don't know about. So I don't know. Then Karen and Fernando, and it was explosive. Karen is very sexual, like she's a very sexual woman, very beautiful. I forgot to mention this earlier. She's beautiful. She looks like she's 16. It is crazy. It was very explosive. It was steamy, and that spider monkey moment made me laugh. Like it was so cute and hilarious at the same time. I was titi kicking, laughing my head off. Chema and Sylvia, they weren't, I don't really have words to describe their couple reveal. When she hugged him, he kind of looked like a toy soldier. I don't know, that's the best way I have to say it. But he was very good. Like, it's either he's an amazing actor or he really does like this girl. Because based on everything that he said, he's been very much, I'm a physical person. She has to be a 10. She has to be a this. I'm not saying that Sylvia isn't gorgeous, but based on his description, this is not what you would expect that he would fall for. Even the guy says that based on his description of what he likes, she's not a perfect fit for what they imagined that he would like. But this guy was good. He was very much all over her throughout their couple reveal. And like I said, either an amazing actor, which give this guy an award, or he likes her. Then we have Willie and Francesca. It was a beautiful moment. Honestly, the couple reveal was quite kind of nice, but I don't trust Willie as far as I can throw him. I don't think he's here for the right reason, so I don't see that working out. And they had a sixth couple. I was like, oh, are they going to break the rules for this one? Little did I know. Iris and Renee did do their couple reveal. I don't know why she was so she don't like him. She don't like this man, not a bit, because she had only complaints. She was like, who is he? He has a nose ring, he has piercings, he looks like a playboy, blah blah blah. She couldn't even hold it together to get to the honeymoon to see the guy that she liked. And I thought that was telling. It's like something about him triggered her like instantly, and I feel like she did break up with him because they announced that if they don't have a connection, then both of them will have to leave the show, right? So, but she didn't tell him about it, so I guess maybe she only told production because he proposed to her. She was holding her ring, or no, wearing her ring. The doors closed. Next thing we see her, there's no ring, and they're telling her that if there's no connection, then both of them have to leave the show. So I was very confused. She also called him a drunk. She said he looks like a drunk, and I was like, you chose to force this situation. Don't come off on the end insulting him. It's not fair because he said a lot of things that were not in line with what you wanted, but you decided to say yes to his proposal anyways. And this was why she stayed on my question mark list. And it kind of fell for me because I really liked her in the beginning. But by the end of it, I was like, no, don't do that. Don't punish other people for the choices that you made. Calling him a drunk on international TV is unfair to him. Because, yeah, the guy drinks, but he has never displayed any tendencies of being drunk. I mean, maybe given time, we would have seen it. But I didn't like that at all. And I didn't respect her for that. So, anyways, we only have 5 couples, guys. Moving on, heading out to the honeymoon. Gerardo and Fernanda. Gerardo says that Fernando deserves Fernando. They were talking about all the other couples, and I'm just taking like bits and pieces of the main things. He said Fernando deserves more than Karen, and I'm like, you didn't actively date Karen, so who are you to question what he deserves or what he doesn't? You don't know the girl, so why are you making comments? The way he was talking, I wish that Fernanda was listening and saying, why are you making such comments? This is weird. This is weird. I wish he was clocking it because The way he was talking about other people, clock it. I don't trust Gerardo. At their name, I put an X. I said that they won't make it, so we'll have to wait and see. Karen and Fernando. Fernando says that he's a jealous type. So Karen tells him about the whole situation with Saul. He didn't know that she had a thing for Saul, and he was like, "Oh, but Saul might be here. What are we gonna do?" So she straight up tells him too, like, "What are you gonna do if Iris is here?" She explains to him that she doesn't really have anything with Saul anymore. That she didn't respect or appreciate the way he disrespected her, for her life choices. And I believe her for now. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, but I do believe her for now. Both of them were worried about integrating her daughter into their lives. That was their biggest worry. The sexual chemistry was popping. They seemed to talk well. They seemed to communicate well so far. So it's just the integration of her daughter into their lives. Her daughter is 14, so or 11. I think she has the 11-year-old. I can't really remember. So it's a thing for them to worry about. For them, I put unknown. I don't know if they'll make it or not. I think Fernando is the guy that will take it all the way. So I'm thinking that maybe Karen will be the deciding factor on this. I feel like Fernando is a man who knows what he wants, and when he decides, he decides. He gives me that energy, right? Oh, you know who Fernando reminds me of? Love Island, Sweden, the guy, the cute teddy bear guy that married the Persian princess. That's what I call her. She's so beautiful. That we all thought that she was dicking him around, but that's just how she was, right? That's who Fernando reminds me of. Then we move on to Willie and Francesca. Beside them, I put an X that they won't make it. And I put the X around Willie because I think he's deciding factor in this and he is not here for the right reasons. So I don't think that they're going to make it. Or even if they make it to the altar, they might say no. Willie says he is here for the experience. He said it again. Francesca is worried that Chema would have a physical problem with Sylvia. So it is revealed that Chema and Francesca know each other. Francesca dated Chema's best friend for a bit. So they've been friends for a long time because she knows about him, deciding to be a good father and all that kind of stuff. And his kid is not young. I think his kid is also like 11 or something around that age. So they know each other very for a long time. It's platonic between them. So she's worried that Chema might have a problem with his physical attraction to Sylvia, and that's pretty much the most of everything. Apart from that, they seem to be talking well. You only get this deer in headlights look from Willie when the hosts come and tell them that they will begin their new life, they'll be moving in together, and then you see dawn on him that this is real life. Maybe the experience has been experienced enough and maybe it's time to cut out. You actually definitely see it. Chema and Sylvia, they're fine. Their sexual chemistry is popping. He can't keep his hands off her. And he's really winning me over, to be honest. So, like I said, he's either a very good actor or he likes her. And I want to lean on the positive side that he likes her because even for an actor, there will be a chink somewhere. Nobody can act like this. You will fear them if they're this good at acting in real life. No, because there's not been one time that he has had a look on his face where he doesn't like this girl. So I am going to lean on the positives here and say that he is truly, truly attracted to her and wants to be with her. And that was most of what I wrote for them. Saul and Lety, this one, they had a lot of notes, people. So Lety talks to him, when they arrived, she talks to him about the physical intimacy they had when they did their couple reveal and how uncomfortable it made her feel. He, listens and he says, yeah, we'll only do what you want to do. Period. When all the couples met and Saul saw Karen for the first time, honestly, he looked like he was having choosers regret. He even says that Karen was a lot prettier than he expected. I was like, eat your words, man. Eat the napkin because the way he treated her, if she takes him back, you know what? She deserves that. Then she will deserve whatever she gets because he didn't treat her well. And I would never agree for anybody to go into a relationship with somebody who treated her the way he did. I didn't respect it at all. Like I said, you don't have to understand people's choices. You don't even have to like people's choices. But it's not your choice. It's not your place to judge them for it. That was what pissed me off with Saul. Lety, like always has this deer in headlights. There's something going on there. They need to unpack that situation, man. At the end of it, so everybody is talking about how they're sexually active, their sexual chemistry, they're all kissing, they're all doing this. Saul finally brings up the lack of intimacy to Lety, and they have this conversation about it. And she basically says that she's not willing to do anything that she's not ready to do. And if he's not okay with that, then he can step off, essentially. You know, and I feel like she needs to communicate. Maybe she doesn't feel safe enough to communicate with him what the reservation is. But I just think that she doesn't like him. That's just what it is. There have been no couples that have survived Love is Blind who did not do a little something something during the honeymoon. Go and check the history, people. I mean, maybe except for Japan, but even in Japan, I think they did a little something. They just didn't show us. Nobody, any couple that said, I don't want to have sex on the honeymoon, they never make it. I think. Let me know in the comment section if there was anybody that made it who didn't, do a little something on their honeymoon. So we get to see clips from, obviously the next few episodes. And Iris makes a cameo in a wedding dress. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because at first I thought it was Karen. And then I was like, no, no, the hair is different. I went back and Iris was wearing a wedding dress. Now, the guy that she was standing in front of had a black blazer that had maroon embroidery on it. So that was not Fernando. Fernando was wearing white for his wedding. And he and Karen do make it because I think he was putting the ring on Karen's finger. I'm just going off. You know how we do it, guys. We watch the previews, we watch the episodes, then we go back and watch the previews because we know who is who now. So Iris does make it to the wedding. I feel like she reconnects with somebody. I don't know if it's Renee. I'm not really sure, but we will find out when we find out. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. I thought that this was actually fun. I think that Mexico is going to be fun. I'm just waiting to see how the drama unfolds and what it brings. But yeah, I'm excited for the next few episodes. And the reunion, I think the reunion is going to have some tea in it because there was a lot happening in those lounges that they did not cover at all. But be sure to do all the right things. The reunion will be live on Patreon whenever it comes out. I will put the whole thing on Patreon, so be sure to check out Patreon. There's a lot of free stuff also on there. And we have fun.